You guys probably wonder why this channel is called Anti-Reviews. Well, today you're going to find out, because this is the channel where I am the lone hero of the people standing up against the tyranny of movie critics. You might look up a movie and then you see, oh, the audiences liked it, but then you see some bad reviews pop up. These reviews are like rat turds being left on Rotten Tomatoes. I never really looked into it before, but today we're going to find out where these rats have been hiding. But first, let's talk about the Mario Bros. Movie. This might be my favorite animated movie of the last 2 years. You might think that's not a great threshold, but you'd be wrong. There are a lot of beautiful ones like Sea Beast, fun ones like Super Pets and Rise of Gru, big old adventures, just so good. But this one speaks to me on a whole new level. It's like all the Super Mario games that I never played had come to life. If you're on the internet, you know enough about Mario anyways. There are so many great Mario parodies out there, and everyone who talks about games will eventually compare things to Mario, as they should. The cultural impact that Mario has had on the world cannot be ignored, and I love that we get to see his great adventure on the big screen finally. I don't really remember the old live-action Mario movie. I think it was alright.
Luigi, I'm alive!
The cat's home, Mario. I should try out for the Yankees.
I'd high-five you, but then you'd be an only child.
But it wasn't really a video game movie like this. I really enjoyed the journey that Mario goes on as he accidentally gets sucked into this magical kingdom. Meanwhile, Bowser has hatched a plan to force Peach to marry him. Who can save her? Bowser sees Mario as a rival, so he imprisons Luigi. Bowser is just such a horrible incel who would rather burn down the world than accept the rejection. And I guess he always was. And it's just fine to see him like this. It's really interesting to see them go through varied lands on their missions. The Kong Kingdom, for example, is insane. All in all, this is definitely one of the best movies I've seen so far this year, and it's a good year so far. A lot of really good movies to watch. Anyways, more important is, what do the critics think about the movie? In a sane world, the critics would have one job: tell us if we would like X movie. But in our world, the critics completely fail at this job. Critics only tell us what movie they like, but they hate movies. They've seen thousands of movies, and for them it's a chore to get through them. The fact that they had to write these reviews means that it's hard work for them, and that makes it even less fun for them. So every moment where there's just non-offensive fun on the screen, their brains are just going crazy. What can I say about this that's insightful? Oh, clearly this so-called fun is a mundane and low-effort experience. Only a great reviewer like me can watch this fun scene and be immune to its charm. Now you're probably asking, but Florian, you're out here reviewing thousands of movies. How is it that you've maintained your childlike wonder when watching them? And the answer is clear: autism, baby. My autism makes it so that I can do repetitive tasks without being weary of them. Also, I am greatly entertained by these beautiful, colorful worlds and cartoony characters. So there's nobody more suited to defending this movie from the horrible trolls that call themselves movie critiques. Now, as a citizen of the internet, you probably know that film critics are useless at their job, and you'd rather look at an audience score. But for normies out there, they just take the critics at their words. TV programs have critics that review the movies, and the people might see a movie merely based on whether or not it had had good reviews. And that breaks my fucking heart. And this is why movie reviews are like shit to me. And baby, I'm the plumber. I'm here to fix the system. I'll be your voice of the people that you can rely on. If I like a movie, surely you will like it too. So let's see who has been leaving these horrible reviews. Let's see the vermin who has been dropping their rat turds all over this review page. Or more interestingly, let's see what's up on YouTube. Do any of these reviewers actually have the balls to make a video backing up their outrageous opinions? Now, just to clarify, these reviews I selected to respond to are the worst of the worst. No need to talk about reviews that I agree with, obviously. Alright guys, this is it. We found the worst one of them all. We found the worst Mario review of all. So let's dig right in. This could be a video on its own, you know, and I'm just attaching it at the end of my video, or at the start. You know, it's great. This is a great video. You guys are getting the best content here. I'm spoiling you guys. Let's fucking go, baby.
So wow! I'm kind of shocked at how bad this movie is. Universal knows, though. Universal knows. We've seen a lot of bad reviews drop right now, and yeah, it's unfortunately true. Now, as I've mentioned before when discussing this movie, I don't play Nintendo games, right? Like, I know who the characters are, well, like the big ones.
You know, that's the problem with women. They don't play the games. Okay, I'll stop.
But I'm certainly not a Nintendo fan. But, you know, just like I say movies shouldn't require homework, this should be accessible to a non-Nintendo fan, especially if it wants to make $1 billion.
Yeah, imagine if a child movie wasn't accessible to children or to people who don't know things. That would be really bad. I sure hope that's not the case, you know. Imagine if that was the case. Yeah, people would just be confused, dazed and confused, you know. They'll have no idea. They'll be like, what is a Mario? What is a Mario?
But, you know, I do love Illumination movies. I watch The Grinch every year. I love Illumination films. I think they're fantastic.
Hell yeah, Illumination is amazing. Though this one didn't really feel that much like an Illumination film to me. I think she says that. Yeah, I've seen it before. Eat it.
And the trailers for this have been very bright and fun. Plus, I've been really getting into Universal Studios Super Nintendo World. Like, I haven't had a chance to go there, but I've watched all the videos. I'd like to go there. It looks like a good time. So I'm like, you know, this seems fun. You know, everybody's so excited for Super Nintendo World, for this movie, right? And who doesn't love a party? I'm like, I want to be in here too, everybody. Move over.
I'm just realizing, wow. So you might have noticed that I zoomed in on her. But Jesus, look at this background. She must be like in New York, and I mean this doesn't look like a green screen because then you wouldn't have had this like window bar, right? So she must have like an amazing skyrise apartment. Maybe it's a tiny apartment, but that looks like some high quality real estate if you have this view. All right, sorry.
So I was very excited for my press screening. I was like, oh boy. So there were about 40 of us in the basement of AMC Lincoln Square, and they gave us free snacks. Yummy. And it was very nice. I had a great seat, wasn't too crowded. I had like my space. I was set. I was like, oh boy. But then the movie started, and again, out of like 40 of us critics, it was a critics only screening. The all media is tonight. It was a critics only screening, and I would say out of 40, maybe 2 people were enjoying and laughing at the movie.
So funny. This is such amazingly pure cringe. This cringe it's like butter. You can spread it on a bread and you can feed your family for years on this cringe here. This is just so amazing. Just imagine you getting like you have this amazing child-friendly fun movie, and then you invite like the lowest forms of life on this planet, movie critics. You invite 40 of them, and then they're like they're so quiet. There's 2 of them that laugh, but every time they laugh, all the other ones just snarl at them. They're like, "Are you enjoying this?" Could you imagine? No wonder there's a fucking review embargo. If the reviewers are this fucking stupid, maybe they should just outright ban you from reviewing this. This would have saved you from being the biggest fucking idiot out there. Could you imagine, like, you don't even get like a subjective view of the movie, you know? You're just in this room and it's just filled with movie reviewers smelling their own farts. So it just smells like a literal cow farm. Just disgusting smart fart smelling. Is that a brilliant accidental joke? It just smells like shit in there. Of course you're not going to have a great time. Jesus. Alright, well, hope you enjoyed your echo chamber. I think review events are a mistake. I think movie reviewers are a mistake. But this is clearly what I'm going to say anyways. So, anyways, let's continue.
They were having a good time, though. Maybe you're one of those too. But the rest of us just sat there in stony silence, just waiting for the movie to end. You were like, oh, whew.
Oh, just waiting for it to end. God, yeah, like the free snacks, the great movie. God, can't wait for this to be over. God, my gigantic brain isn't stimulated enough by the Marios. It's amazing. This video, I'm surprised she left this up. This is so embarrassing for her. I don't know how she. I guess she must have great integrity if she's willing to look this stupid.
I mean, I also was not only not enjoying it, but I was shocked that I couldn't get into the movie. I was like, how is this bad? I haven't had this hard a time watching a movie since DC Super Pets.
God, it's such a torture. By the way, DC Super Pets, like, it's got 88% audience approval, 70% critic approval. Like, okay, the critics should have appreciated it more, but that was a good movie. In my opinion, this is like a great sleeper hit of 2022. You know, it's a real shame, like, if you didn't get into that one, but okay, whatever.
I would describe both of these movies as torture to sit through.
Torture to sit through. God, like, amazing. A fun children's movie. Oh, God, it's such torture.
Whew. And I like comic books.
By the way, you might think that, like, oh, is she gonna pull the rug on you? Is this like all been satire? Is she actually not hating it? Nope. This is as sincere as it gets. Like, this. This is just it, okay? This is the depths of depravity where we gotta tear down the beautiful Mario movie.
Mythology, I get into stuff. I'm open to getting into new fandoms. So the fact that I was like, make it stop, was pretty bad. Although I wanted to walk out of DC Super Pets, as I told you. And the only reason I stayed was because, again, I'm reviewing it. I'd love to be able to say, hey, it gets really good. Narrator, it does not. And also the visuals here were pretty good. And I really like Anya Taylor-Joy's Princess Peach and Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong. So, it wasn't quite as bad as Super Pets, but it was close.
Yeah, I mean, I personally didn't like Seth Rogen that much. He was kind of annoying, but whatever. Great movie otherwise, though.
It was bad.
But
bad. Speaking of the amazing visuals, Super Mario Brothers is available in 3D. And if you like 3D and you're willing to pay a couple of extra bucks for it, you might want to consider it. Also, maybe as a safety net, because the movie's so bad, at least you'll have peak visuals.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason why I enjoyed it. Those 3D effects, they really did feel good, I guess, yeah. Damn, too bad they didn't have that in your fart-smelling room with the critics in it. Tragic. Man, 3D is great, isn't it? I don't know. Well, it's definitely great in this one. There aren't many 3D movies anymore. There was like a 4D movie, but I don't have time for that. I don't want to be shaking in my seat.
Particularly the Mario Kart sequences. When I was watching those, I was like, wow, I bet these would look pretty good in 3D. I mean, I think the movie's actually been made to be seen in 3D. I think they should be advertising that more. Like the rainbow road gets all swirly, and then the camera starts swirling, and you're like, oh, this is cool. And I did feel, I was like, oh, why aren't I watching this in 3D? Now, as I said, I've been able to get into other mythologies, but I just couldn't get into this movie despite being a ready and willing participant. I was like, come on, Nintendo World, indoctrinate me.
Damn, indoctrinate. Well, I guess it's just unlucky, huh, that you couldn't enjoy that. Had nothing to do with those 40 critics that were just, like, snarling at the idea of people having a good time at movies.
So I thought about it, and I saw it last night, and I've been like, why couldn't I get into this movie? And this morning, eureka, it clicked, and I realized the problem. The Super Mario Brothers movie, this latest one, of course they did the live action one many years ago. But while this is supposed to be an origin story where Mario and Luigi do discover the Mushroom Kingdom for the very first time, I didn't even know it was called the Mushroom Kingdom. I had to look it up. It's not even made clear in the movie.
This must be so embarrassing for you, because it's literally like he enters this place and he's like, what is this place? And then Toad goes like, yeah, it's the Mushroom Kingdom. You gotta watch out, there's mushrooms. Don't eat the blue ones. Yeah, imagine like saying this. Oh yeah, I had no idea what this is called. Damn, I had to look it up. Fucking Like, either you care and then you pay attention, or you don't care and then you don't look it up. Like, don't act like the movie didn't tell you. Jeez.
But the movie is written for fans and fans only. Nothing is explained to the audience.
Yeah, not a thing. Like, what is this place? It's the Mushroom Kingdom. Why don't you explain to me what this place is called, please?
Not the world, not the characters, not the circumstances, and not even really the point. Now, some of you might be like, good, I'm a fan, and I just want to get to it. I mean, there's nothing to get to, but, you know, good...
There's nothing to get to. There's nothing in this movie. I don't understand.
Screenwriter, you know, screenwriting, it's always been disrespected in Hollywood, but this is like, it's at its lowest point right now. Like a good...
The writing is the lowest point, because you fucking didn't grasp the name of the kingdom.
Good screenwriter can make this fun for everyone, right?
God, if only they would have hired someone to explain it to me. Maybe if they mentioned it 10 times, maybe then it would have stuck.
This is like Nintendo Easter Egg the movie, the opposite of Andor. This is just all Easter eggs. You just choke on them. It's too much candy. After a brief opening, which is very illumination, it seems more illumination than Nintendo, you could be watching a scene from Sing or Secret Life of Pets, quite frankly. But then after that, there's like no story. Well, and what little story they do have, I found a couple of things. One was confusing. Like, why don't any of the other humans look like Mario and his family?
Hey, I'm just noticing there's like actual cars going by. You know, this is as real as it gets. You know, just pointing out the window with her camera. Sorry. Go on with your mad ramblings.
And why is the human world super realistic, yet full of cartoon-looking characters? I was like, that's weird.
What? It's realistic. It's just like normal fucking Illumination style, I think. I mean, it's realistic with cartoony characters, really? It has a coherent art style. You're insane.
Animation, though, again, is stunning. And some of the backgrounds in the human world looked almost real. But again, that was so bizarre that there were cartoons running around.
I mean, no, it really didn't. It looked like a really nicely rendered video game. Like really nice from in 5 years maybe, or maybe 10 even, you know. it didn't have like the realistic look to it that your window background has.
There.
I mean the background outside your window in real life.
Back to the story, I would also say it's a little disturbing. Because apparently in the games, Bowser, I had to look it up, Bowser is obsessed with Princess Peach.
You had to look it up. You had to look up Jesus, how have you not experienced any internet? There's so much. Mario is such a well-known character. Jeez, it's insane that you've missed all this. But go on, how is it disturbing?
It has been for a very long time. But in today's marketplace, post-Me Too, to hear Bowser declare that he's going to ask Princess Peach to marry him, which apparently isn't a spoiler because I looked it up and it happens in the games all the time, but he's like, I'm going to ask Princess Peach to marry me, and like his little sycophant sorcerer is like, what if she doesn't want to? And he's like, then I'll destroy her kingdom and kill everyone she knows. And you're like, wow, that's stalker behavior.
That's stalker behavior. Yeah, Bowser the stalker. We never guessed, you know.
And I would say, kind of makes this not appropriate for children.
Not appropriate. It's like the most memed on trope ever. Like everyone knows that this is what happens. It's like Bowser wants to kidnap the princess. Everyone knows. Jesus, you don't have to mess with the fucking classic. And besides, it's like even in Star Wars we have Jabba the Hutt kidnapping Leia and then she's like a sex slave. Like Jesus. Yeah, I know this must be something for you women, huh? But like, this has been this way. You're not gonna convince anyone that Mario is inappropriate, okay? She's not even wearing a bikini. Like, come on. She's not even Slave Leia.
Quite frankly. And I would argue that most of the movie is about who's going to date Princess Peach. And that's it.
I mean, no, not really. That never comes up except for Bowser. Bowser's just like this big incel, and he's like, yeah, I want the one girl that lives in this land, you know? I want her for me. And then he gets rejected, and then he threatens to blow up the world. It's pretty incel behavior. That seems pretty fitting for the modern times. And it's not like it's not like anyone is like, yeah, Bowser, you go get her. Everyone's like, he declares, yeah, I got the star. I'm gonna go to the Mushroom Kingdom, and then I'm gonna ask her to marry him. And then it's silence. Like his entire stupid turtle crowd is stunned by the fact that all this crusade has been in favor of him not being an incel anymore, of him trying to force marry this girl. The movie doesn't act like this is okay. Like, none of the characters act like this is okay. There's nothing inappropriate about that. It's just a bad guy doing bad guy things. And, like, when you've got a monarchy or whatever, you want to marry the princess. I guess that's, like, the original rules of monarchy. Sorry. That's how you get power in these lands. Other than power-ups. She seems to have a great supply of power-ups too, you know, so royalty really helps out, even with getting video game power-ups.
My jaw was on the floor. I'm like, is that really what this movie is about? That is a really outdated story. I think.
God, an outdated story. How could we let this happen? Jeez, we really should have. we should have had a subversion of the trope. We should have made something completely different. Like Mario, a princess being kidnapped? What are you kidding me? That's not. You can't tell that story.
Fans and just moviegoers in general, and everybody associated with this film, deserve more. And it's a shame, because Jack Black does a fantastic job as Bowser. You can't even recognize that it's Jack Black's voice.
Yeah, you super can. It's like super noticeable. It actually kind of throws me off that he's just Jack Black. Like, I really would have expected Bowser to be more serious, but I guess it makes sense if he's gonna be like an incel, then he would be more comedic. So I guess it's fine. Didn't enjoy it that much. I mean, like he's supposed to be huge, and Jack Black is like a tiny guy, right? Am I wrong? Is he big? Well, he's fat for sure, so I don't know. Whatever. It's just amazing that she's so offended by this. Jesus, like, I think it's great. I think Bowser incel is great. You know, I think that his motivation, just being like really into this girl, but then he's also such a big asshole that even when he threatens her kingdom and she agrees to marry him, he still has to ruin it all by being evil and trying to kill like half the people for no goddamn reason, even though he said he wouldn't. God damn it. It's great. I think Bowser is like, I think he's written in a really entertaining way.
Then Bowser sings, and you're like, oh yeah, he's voiced by Jack Black. And you still can't tell that it's Jack Black.
Yeah, wow, yeah, totally can't tell. Oh my God.
And I think that the talent is definitely here. It's really just the script. So Jack Black was fantastic. Also, in an effort to move away from speaking of disturbing, I would also classify this movie as a little offensive, because instead of doing the Italian accents, ironically, because they were worried about being offensive, instead they decided to give everyone a variation of a New York accent, which again, I found kind of offensive. It's like everyone's either in Goodfellas or a Woody Allen movie.
Okay, this is insane. You are so goddamn offended. I don't know how you can be. Like, this is really blowing my mind. You are like the most hilarious character I could think of right now. I can't believe that you're offended by the New York accent. That's great. Those accents, they were fine. I like that Mario has like this Italian family, and they're like, oh, mamma mia, and he does his commercial, and he does the Mamma Mia, it's me, the Mario Brothers. We're gonna save out of Brooklyn. It's amazing, okay? I love that he's got this Italian heritage, but then he's still like a modern guy, so he doesn't talk like that all the time. He just hams it up for the commercial. So if they're gonna make a sequel, he's gonna ham it up because he's kind of known for that voice now, I think. So I think they handled his voice as good as they could have, and actually, yeah, I think it works really well. And the fact that you're like, oh no, this is a caricature of me. Oh no, Mamma Mia. Like, shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ, look at your goddamn city. Look at your high-rise. It's like, oh god, I'm being parodied in a movie? This is offensive to me. My downtrodden New York City life. Gosh, how dare you make fun of us? How can you be offended by this? Like, Jesus Christ. You really have to examine your goddamn choices if you're offended by the fucking Mario making the New York voice. It makes sense because the fucking live action one was from New York too, so it's actually really good in my opinion. So yeah, you're wrong about everything.
Because, and not just in the New York scenes, by the way. Mario and Luigi live in New York City, but you're like, when you get to the Mushroom Kingdom, Donkey Kong Land is the same way, and so you're just kind of like, why would you make that choice?
I mean, that one slipped by me. I didn't notice that they having New Yorker accents there, but whatever. Who cares? I mean, I guess the accents weren't great, but what are they gonna do? Like they can't have like an African accent. That'd be really stupid.
Like, why do you think that's somehow not offensive and the Italian thing would be? It's just crazy. The movie.
Like, what do you talk about? The Italian thing wouldn't be offended. They included the Italian thing. They didn't care if it was offensive. They just didn't want to have their character be like a constant caricature, okay? Like, I mean, I probably would have liked him to be more Italian, but like, it makes sense for a modern Italian guy to not be all Mamma Mia all of the time, okay? Like, it just makes sense. They didn't do it to avoid offending people. I don't even know how this is your thought process. It's stupid.
He also leans really heavily on classic hit songs, a little bit the way Guardians of the Galaxy has done. And sometimes it gets your blood pumping. It's not a bad strategy. But here it's very poorly executed. Like, everything, just when you're like, okay, now we're cooking, it peters out. And they're like, okay, we're done. And you're like, oh, you promised me a fun jam. Like,
yeah, I mean, I probably always like to have more music. Whatever, sure.
When they start to make the Mario Karts, and you know, and one of the Kongs is like puts on his shades and he's like, "What do you want me to do for you?" But he just says it with a nod, and you're like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." And it seems like it's gonna be awesome. The music starts, they turn up the volume, and then they're done. And I was like,
"Yeah, they didn't need a song to explain how karts work." Sorry.
I guess if you've ever built your own Mario Kart, you'd be like, "Oh, cool! It's just like the game."
Do you even build your own karts? I mean, I guess looks like it, sure. I mean, according to the movie, I never played those.
But as someone who has never built a Mario Kart, I still have not had the pleasure of the experience. But I did really like Anya Taylor-Joy. She is always a delight as an actress on screen.
You know, I like that. It wasn't noticeably her accent. Okay, I like that about her. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys who are big fans of her noticed that it was her, like, all the time. But you know. I'm glad that I'm glad that Peach had normal eyes, though. At least that's good.
But it turns out she has a great voice for animation as well. And she's a great sport. Look what she wore to the premiere for the movie.
Wait, does she have... Oh god, she has her eyes. What am I talking about? How embarrassing. Well, I mean, I guess she does fine. She looks fine.
A variation on Princess Peach's Mario Kart outfit. I thought that was great. I am a little tired, though, of girl power for the sake of girl power care.
Yeah, look how far those eyes are apart. God, I can't believe I said that and was proven immediately wrong.
Like, if you're not going to fully develop them, I just get frustrated because I know certain groups are going to complain. And
I mean, you're complaining. I think she was fine.
You know, you should have justification for things. It's like, if you're not going to do it right, don't do it. And again, she's all girl power, but yet the movie is just about who she's going to date. She's a princess in name only. I didn't see her make any rules or control the kingdom or anything. You know, she just kind of went on a date with Mario, and Bowser was really jealous about it.
Okay, you are. I don't say this lightly, but you are so fucking retarded right now. Are you kidding me? Like, she's introduced and it's like, oh, well, princess, what are we gonna do? The Bowser is attacking the castle. Okay, why am I doing it? Whatever. And then she's like, I must venture forth and call upon our allies to ask them for aid. And then she goes to the Kong Kingdom to ask, like, on a diplomatic mission for their help. Are you fucking serious? Like, how regal is that? She does rule the kingdom, and then when she fails, no, it's no spoiler, fuck. When she fails, she comes back, and then she says, we must evacuate, and then they all listen to her, because she's their goddamn princess, and they do what she's told. And Mario doesn't go on a fucking date with her, he goes to rescue his brother, and tries to rescue her kingdom. What, are you kidding me? And the fact that she's, like, good at being in the game, you know, it's like a game with stupid, like, toad people. Of course she's gonna be good. Like, even the big bad guy is just like a big turtle. Like, come on, she's a human. Of course she's gonna be good in this goofy ass world. She's gonna kick a lot of ass, you know. She's got the illumination cartoon powers, all right. Whatever. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think she was probably all right. I mean, sure, there could be people complaining about her, but those people would be idiots, and that's good. If the people that complain about this shit are idiots, then that'd be a good point, I guess. She would be bad if you hate fun, and then, like, everything is terrible.
You're like, is this really what this movie is about? Keegan-Michael Key's voice is also unrecognizable as Toad, which is a shame. I love Keegan.
That was Toad? That's amazing.
Michael Key. But Toad is adorable, and he serves as a good ad for his new restaurant at Universal Studios. In fact, I wish he'd done more cooking. I was like, oh, that's why he has a restaurant. That's great. That's awesome. What are you making? There was one quick moment where I can't do a spoiler review for this movie because I still can't really tell you what happened in it. But there was, like, one distraction.
Yeah. Wait, did you just say you're too stupid to grasp what happened in the movie, or did you just say that you can't tell us? Wait, let's see.
Because I still can't really tell you what happened.
Oh my god, you really... Wow. Amazing, yep. Doesn't understand a kid's movie. Just amazing.
In it. But there was, like, one distraction, and I felt like they didn't even do that right. I was like, tell them that there's good food back there, Mario. Why do you be like, hey, he's cooking up something back there. I was like, that's clearly the move. All right, so speaking of Mario...
I guess that might have been funny if he did that, sure. Probably wouldn't have worked. They're not, like... I mean, they are pretty stupid, but they're not that stupid, I guess. Whatever.
Mario, how's Chris Pratt? Everybody wants to know, how's Chris Pratt? Well, he's doing a thick New York accent, so he doesn't sound too much like Chris Pratt. I mean, occasionally you're like, there he is. And Chris Pratt, by the way, outside of...
Yeah, I would have totally forgotten that it was Chris Pratt. I totally didn't hear him, and that's good. That's acting.
Controversy that surrounds him. He's a very good actor, a very likable actor, and he does a good job in that regard.
Wait, what controversy? What, the Italian thing? That's not a controversy, is it? Like, the big butt thing was a bigger controversy. Bring back the big butt.
With, the emotion and all that stuff, he certainly is able to deliver in that capacity. But again, the script is so awful.
We hate it! Oh, the movie is fun, we hate it!
Mario and Luigi's relationship just seems really forced. It's like screenwriter Matthew Fogel, who should never work again, he's done a couple of stuff.
Now, is he cancelled because of this movie or something else?
For Illumination, that's about it. It's like he saw Frozen and decided to do the male version of Elsa and Anna, but none of the work to make it work.
Okay, I might be having a controversial take here, but I think that Frozen 2 is like one of the worst animated movies of all time. Is that even true? I mean, I just think that the writing, actually, I guess maybe I should rewatch it and find out. But I probably won't, whatever.
And since they insisted on putting Mario in the real world, so to speak, why do he and Luigi wear those funny outfits and gloves? I was like, you guys look ridiculous. I mean, none of it made sense.
I mean, it was literally explained. I guess it sure is too bad that you don't have a single working brain cell there, you know? Like, they quit their job because they wanted to make their own plumbing place, and then they decided to go with these goofy outfits. You know, that's the story. Like it is explained, and I mean, I like it. Whatever. You know, it's just like kind of Italian, maybe, or maybe not. Is it racist for me to think that that's Italian when it's just like a Japanese caricature? Whatever. Did I just say racist? Go on.
Nothing in the movie made sense, so it was hard for me to get into any of it. Speaking of Mario and Luigi, though, Charles Martinet, he had a nice cameo. He is the OG and current voice of Mario and Luigi in the games, and a lot of fans were disappointed he's not voicing them here. But even I was like, oh, that's Charles Martinet. That's awesome. And
Oh, was he the father of Mario? That's awesome, yeah. It's great that he does the real Mario voice, and it's like, yeah, that's the heritage right there.
I think it was a very nice thing to do for him. He showed up, I think, twice. He showed up like twice. Very, very briefly, but it was cute. Even the action sequences aren't that exciting. There's like no suspense. It's just like, oh, hey, look, it's like the game. But you never really feel like you're running any of the gauntlets yourself. You still look like you're watching the game screen instead of being put into the action. That's the whole benefit of making it a movie. And then, what could
I mean, that's definitely insane. Like, the Mario Kart levels are like way deep into them, you know? Like, the Mario races, you're not thinking you're watching a game in that. That's incredibly stupid, you know? I mean, this obstacle course, yeah, that one was a little silly, sure, but then when they go to the city and they have the actual obstacles like this, like, you realize that this obstacle course here is like Peach's training obstacle course, and she used it to train Mario, and then when he's in the city, he uses that knowledge and curb stomps the Goombas. It's amazing. Like, that was really good. You're insane.
Mario turned into a cat. I guess, like, if you're into furries, that works.
Furies?
And maybe that'll play really well in Asian markets. I know they love cats over there, like, love cats.
I mean, yeah, that's probably why they did it.
But I just felt it robbed Mario of a lot of his personal dignity. I was like, don't do that to Mario.
No, not the personal dignity. Oh, mamma mia, my personal dignity. Oh. It was funny. You're so stupid. It was funny that he was a cat, and yeah, I mean, I guess those are power-ups from the game, and you wouldn't understand because you're like aggressively avoiding consuming any video game content. I don't know how you manage. I guess you're just out there living the New York lifestyle, and there's not a single computer or video game console that you could play. just like hustling all day, getting out those inferior movie reviews.
Where's Mario's agent? There are also 2 end credit scenes, but they're not really noteworthy. One's comedic. The second one tries to set up a potential sequel. They're like, oh, if we make another one of these, this character's going to show up. Get excited. But that character kind of showed up earlier in the film in the background in a way, like at least a variation of them. I spotted him. And this end credit scene is so quick that it's hard to get super excited unless you're just so excited about that character. Just like the mere tease or mention or like blip of him is enough. So yeah, this is a mess. There's no story. Nothing is explained to newbies like myself. It's kind of offensive, and none of the animation styles fit together because I guess maybe they're different games. I mean, I guess it looks this way in Mario Kart, right? But from a story perspective, it just did not work for me. I have never seen an Illumination misfire this bad. In fact, I don't think they've ever misfired. This is not only the worst movie they've ever made, but in my opinion, the only bad movie they've ever made.
This is certainly a very rare take. Well, I'm glad that you haven't chat on Illumination like everyone else has, so I guess that's a point in your favor at least.
And maybe what's different here, it's because Nintendo was so involved creatively, as you can see from the credits when you watch the movie. I guess it doesn't always work out like with The Last of Us. This was So that's my review of Super Mario Brothers. If you aren't a fan of the games, you've been warned. But maybe you need to go with somebody who is a Nintendo fan. It's gonna be rough for you. I pity you. But just remember what good friend you're being. And maybe...
Oh my god, what good friend you're being. Yeah, wow. Jesus Christ. Wow. Gamers are just like these little children and they drag everyone to see their video game movies. Damn.
Before the movie starts, ask your Nintendo fan friend to explain some of this stuff to you, which might make it a little less painful. But
I mean, you probably could ask afterwards. That's probably fine. You're like, yeah, you missed this. How? Like they told you what it was called right at the start. You fool.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even really think your Nintendo fan friend is gonna like this. All right.
Yep, he's gonna hate it. Everyone's gonna hate this movie. Thank God we have critics out there telling us what we're gonna hate.
So share your thoughts down below. Subscribe. I know a lot of you are gonna have to like see this to believe it, but I think most people are not gonna. I think it's gonna be like my screening. 2 out of the 40 really had a good time.
Yeah, God, like, if you ever think that your stupid fucking fart-smelling review of viewing is gonna be, like, representative of a greater audience, then, like, where did you fucking go wrong? Jesus. Like, critics are so out of touch, it's not even funny anymore. I mean, it is gonna be fairly funny on this channel, but, you know... This is madness. You're insane.
And I don't know if they loved it even, but at least they were laughing and reacting. All right, so share your thoughts down below. Subscribe. I don't even know if kids, again, I don't even know if it's appropriate for kids, quite frankly. All right, share your thoughts down below. Subscribe today, and of course...
Yeah, so this one's called Beyond the Trailer. That's her channel. I mean, I don't know. She has pretty lukewarm reviews usually. Never any huge misfires like this that I've seen before. So let's hope that she can... return to the righteous path of having actual brain cells while reviewing a movie. Who knows? Maybe she'll see it again and she'll be like, God, what was I thinking? And then she just hangs her hat in shame and God. Maybe. Who knows? Oh boy, let's see what this fucking guy has to say about it, huh? Mike's Watch.
Welcome back to the Watch, and we just watched the Super Mario Brothers. And I find it always interesting after we review a film, but on the drive back, it's like dead silent because we don't want to share our thoughts or have any of the discussion on the drive back because we want to save it for the video, for the review. So I have no idea what you guys thought of it, but I'm just going to come out of the gate and say, I did not care for this film. I did not like it, and I found it annoying.
Wow, fighting words. I loved this film. I smiled throughout, and I really enjoyed it. And I'd watch a sequel.
Are you a fan of like Super Mario and Nintendo stuff like that?
No.
Okay. I didn't care. I'm not a Nintendo fan. I'm not really a Super Mario fan. It's not a bad film. I just didn't care. Like, there's just no other way to describe it. If you're a Mario fan, you might like it. You might actually enjoy it. There's lots of
Mario...
Yeah, you might totally like it. Imagine. Ah, boy. Well, I guess these guys are very unqualified to review it somehow. I don't know how they've avoided this culture. Is this guy... Why are they wearing chainmail looking shirts? Isn't that like a big sin when it comes to historical accuracy in movies? So, is that a joke? Is that why they do it? By the way, I watch Adversity a lot because his medieval stuff's pretty good. But let's see the supreme cringe that he's got in this take here.
And I think you will love it because it like.
Well, I don't really care what the other two have to say. Let's just skip to him.
Like there was this amount of.
That's the guy on the right, by the way. Shadiversity.
Easter eggs and fantastic.
You see, for me, yes, adapting the world and being respectful to the source material is really important, but there needs to be an underlining story that takes you through, gets you invested. And for me, there was nothing there on that front.
In terms of animation, it's really good.
Oh,
Yeah, no story there. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, what could you possibly ask for? He goes on an adventure, like, there's plenty there. He rescues his brother and they save the kingdom. Like, Jesus Christ, man. How can you possibly claim there's no story? But let's see, maybe you elaborate.
Actually, top tier animation. How they adapted the world.
This is really frustrating because I really don't care what the other people have to say.
I didn't like the film. I think kids will love it.
Well, at least then you understand that the film succeeds at what it wants to do, which is to be a kids movie. That's good, I guess. I mean, I'm obviously not in the camp where we say that kids movies don't have to be good, but this is good and you are insane. So I'm definitely gonna say that if I like it and the kids like it, then you can definitely eat shit.
They will get a lot of fun out of it. It's goofy, and they don't really need to think too deeply. Now, I don't necessarily think we should give kids' movies a pass, though, when it comes to gauging the actual quality of them, because some kids' movies can be absolutely phenomenal. And for me, one of the gold standards to actually compare like the height of what kids' movies can achieve in terms of quality of characterization, storytelling, emotional payoff, investment, incredible music, and engaging story is the first How to Train Your Dragons film. That is like an amazing.
I mean, that was kind of alright, but like, it's pretty cringe too. It's like, oh jeez, we gotta save these animals. They're so precious. God, if only our stupid parents understood the value of these animals. Like, I really don't like that kind of kids movie where it's like, oh, the kids, they're the only ones who see the reason, you know? Like, I definitely prefer this one because it's like perfect and we don't even have kids in it. I guess that's the best kind of kids movie. Oh yeah, we just got Mario trying to survive in this world, you know? Trying to build a business. And then he gets sucked into a magical world instead. Oh well, I mean, How to Train Your Dragon's obviously fine. Whatever.
Amazing film. I love it to bits.
I love when you tell us the films you love. And what was it last week? Megamind? Hey, it's like, Megamind is top tier.
God, Megamind is so good, yeah. I mean, I guess that one's probably the best, but that one might be a bit more adult than you might want to admit. I mean, I guess it is pretty cartoony, though. I mean, I think it's probably for like 14 or whatever. Is it? Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's just the perfect movie for the whole family. What do I know?
I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that one. Well, yeah, I think the movie's like, for me, underrated is A Bug's Life.
Yeah?
The end of that film where like the ants stand up to Hopper and I had...
Oh my god, The Bug's Life. That was... I grew up with that when I played the game. Anyways, are these guys gonna say anything good? Is The Bug's Life good in comparison? No, I think Mario's definitely better than The Bug's Life. Yeah, I mean, I think Flick is just like, why is he like that? Why was it necessary for him to clumsily destroy, like, their entire world for that to be, like, why did that have to be the catalyst for a story? Okay, I'm being nitpicky, but, like, it's just a personal redemption story. I don't know, I guess that makes sense, whatever. I definitely prefer Mario, though.
This whole power dynamic...
Alright, let's skip till they say something good.
Yeah, Train Your Dragon 2, that was a powerful movie.
Mario Brothers, right? I get nothing out of it. To me, Mario basically achieves nothing but, apart from being a punching bag. There's a theme of not giving up, but all the major, successes are handed to him. And in actual fact, right, Mario, he does save, Donkey Kong. He does save Luigi at 2 points, but at no point do they dare let him save Peach. In actual fact, in reverse, Peach saves him multiple times, and he would be dead, flat out, multiple times, if not for Peach, and even the climax.
Well, he'd be fine if it weren't for Peach. Like, she brings him along on this dangerous adventure, and it's his choice, but without her, he probably would have been fine. He just wouldn't have been able to rescue his brother, you know? And, like, she probably would have been fine, too, if she had just married Bowser. I guess then she probably could have convinced him to not kill anyone, so... I don't know. But no, Mario does really good. He beats up Donkey Kong. That was, like, Peach couldn't have done that. I mean, could she have? I mean, I guess she wouldn't dare, because she would probably anger, like, the kingdom if she... I don't know, I guess she probably could have done it. But it was his time to shine, and he fucking shined. And he did save her with that. You can say whatever the fuck you want, but she was floundering, and he saved her mission, okay? Like, Jesus, man. Like, what do you even want? Like, I think that's probably a pretty good compromise, that he did that, and she was reliant on him. Like, she wasn't in a cage, I guess, that's good. Like, he wasn't damseled the entire time.
Is subverted by that. And so there is like a personal kind of bias I have where I get unbalanced, inordinately annoyed by annoying modern woke tropes. And this film isn't woke in the sense where no character makes a statement like, you know, privilege this or bias that or anything like what we saw in, say, The Batman, where Catwoman just comes out with a dumb line, and you can see these things, but they are very, very just overt, like unashamed of making Peach and it's such an insufferable girl boss.
Absolutely no. She was perfectly fine. She was charming. Like, there was nothing bad about her. You're insane. Like, insufferable, really? Like, okay, so... I mean, she's ruling over toads. Of course she's gonna be, like, the matriarchal figure. How's she gonna... Like, these toads are probably gonna die all the time without her. You know, she had to step up. And she's shown that she had to come into this world confused, and then the toads, they raised her and made her princess. You know, it was good. I don't know. So I guess this is the kind of person that the girl earlier was talking about, that will be offended by the girl boss. Okay, let's see what else he has to say about her.
That's like...
Thoughts, Nathan?
I disagree. I don't think she was insufferable. I think it was to a character.
Okay. I find it insufferable because I see it so often.
Yes.
Yeah, I think my daughter will actually love Peach because there's going to be a power fantasy kind of, she's so awesome that she always is amazing. She's an insufferable, and I find that insufferable.
I mean, that's pretty stupid. Like, we had, like, generations of movies where the men were, like, amazing at everything. Like, that trope where everyone just speaks every language. It's like, oh, yes, I spoke my home language to slight you, but you understood, so now I understand your superior intellect. Like, everyone does that. Like, wow, John Wick, oh, he understood that language. Damn, he's so worldly and built, even though he never says anything. Like, oh, wow, we know that this guy knows shit. Like, the trope existed before, and now you're annoyed that women can do it too. That's all. And it's shameful.
Mary Sue. And so, when I say it's annoying, those are things that annoy me. And the more I think about this film, the more insufferable I find it. But that's my own annoyance, that I'm just sick of this crap. And
yeah, I mean, that's your own bias, and it's stupid. And now that they've done it good, now you can shut up about it. Now that they've made a movie where this girl boss, as you say, has been actually enjoyed by the people, maybe now you can finally shut the fuck up about it.
When I see it, it annoys me more. Where in isolation, it probably wouldn't bother me as much, but it's just, oh my goodness.
Yeah. I would have liked if Mario had saved the princess at least once. That would have been satisfying. But I just feel, I don't know, in terms of the world and the aspect of the fact, like, she's a princess.
Yes.
She had to look after herself. Like, as in, like, she's isolated. She's in charge of a kingdom. Like, that's my, like, head.
I mean, even when you're saying he didn't save her, like, there was still the fight where, I mean, at the wedding, she started beating everyone up, you know, but she would have gotten captured eventually if Mario hadn't showed up to save her. I really don't know, man. Like you really just, you wouldn't be satisfied unless she's in a literal cage and he has to save her? I mean, I guess it makes sense they would have put Luigi in the cage instead, like they did. I guess that's a subversion of that trope that should actually not offend anyone.
kind of like why she's so capable is because she's kind of had to be. Everyone else is like little mushroom toads. She has to be kind of girl boss to
True.
But the thing is, though, this movie gets robbed of important stakes that you need to feel invested in the film, right? When you actually feel something is at stake of happening, something terrible, like, oh no, if Mario doesn't do this, something really bad is going to happen, and yet you're rooting for Mario to get it. Well, there's a moment when he you know, that's completely subverted because someone doesn't need saving at all. She's got it all under control. And as a result, you're like, and instead they try and flip that to another character that really needs the saving. And at that point, I'm just starting to check out because they could have made it like, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought the fundamental, most bare bones theme of Mario in the original game was a damsel in distress story.
yes.
Save the princess.
Yeah, they don't really do that as much anymore. Like, even in the new Zelda games, Zelda isn't, like, locked up the entire time, right? I don't actually know. I don't play those. But I think they probably stopped doing that. And, like, there's a reason for that.
These stories should not be hard to get wrong. And they get that completely wrong. They, in fact, flip it on its head. To the point where Mario needs saving more than anyone else.
Yes, but
more than...
I mean, like, Mario was... I mean, that actually makes sense. You guys are insane. Like, if you play the game, then you're gonna die a bunch. Like, it's a game. So it actually makes sense that a video game character would be bad at it at first and then learns it throughout. Like, that's the perfect representation of a video game. And you guys are all insane by complaining about it. Yeah, that's what you want to see in a video game movie. Shut up, people.
Peach, more than Peach.
As well, they're just trying to adapt more than one game as well. Like, I think those are the original ones, but they're also trying to do like Mario Kart, like Smash Bros stuff. Like, they have this whole library and all these different characters and like decades worth of development that, like, I reckon people who, you know, if there was just Princess Peach being saved, people will be like, well, hang on, in these other games and like adaptations, she's this girl boss character who can like do her own thing. So
they could have done both. They could have made her more competent, but still have the damsel in distress element.
Yeah, you know, people actually kind of like that she doesn't have that hanging all over her the entire time, you know? It'd be bad if he was just, like, constantly being kidnapped. And Bowser tries. He tries to fucking capture her, so the fact that doesn't work out for him is kind of good, you know? Oh, well.
That can really empower the heroic character to step up and save the day. But they didn't have that. Now, is that going to matter for most audience watchers? Probably not.
No.
But I think there's going to be a subconscious thing, like, because people have emotional responses to very classic storytelling tropes because they connect to them. Okay.
Yeah, they sure have. I think I'm tired of them. That's the response I got to them. Like, you guys might not admit it, but we don't just want to see the same old stories again. Like, okay, like, maybe you guys do, but I think there's a reason why we don't tell them the exact same way anymore, you know? But yeah, you're gonna think, oh, it's a culture war, they're trying to take our male heroes. But no, like, you have to come up with a concept where we have this innate response to them, even though we actually like these new things. You're like, oh no, but really, you actually hated it. No, I don't buy it.
Okay. Guess what? A lot of girls do like to be saved. Okay, they like to be saved by the hero. A lot of guys.
I mean, they prefer not needing saving. Like, if you ask them, you ever think of that? Like, excuse me, are you just telling me that girls like to be in horrible situations and then someone just barely managed to save them? Are you kidding me? I mean, maybe that's the fantasy for some, but I think in general that seems like pretty far-fetched.
Do like to try and save and be the hero as well. And as a result, oftentimes those themes resonate and cause a strong emotional reaction. This is why I have a really positive emotional reaction when I see fatherhood depicted strongly, where a father is willing to sacrifice everything to save his children. That gets me.
Then you should be really appreciative of the fact that Mario tries to save his brother. Like, Jesus. Like, how do you have no empathy for that one? Like, it was great. Like, Luigi was almost gonna die, you know, and then everyone is like, no, like everyone was close to dying, but Luigi was closest, okay? And nobody would have saved him if it weren't for Mario. Like, he's the only one who personally cared about Luigi, so that was a really touching moment when that happened, you know? I mean, I know they weren't gonna kill him off, but still.
Gets me in the heart every time, and I can enjoy and connect to a film so much better. And even if I didn't understand the actual storytelling mechanics of what's going on, the result would be more positive. And I think a lot of people would have a more emotional investment in this film if they actually had more significant stakes at play, where Mario could be a far more like winning hero. And he achieves things from his own competence, planning everything. There's only one.
Nah, you're insane. Mario really, like, you're saying Mario gets stuff handed to him? He really doesn't. Like, without him, that kingdom would have been screwed, and you know it. Like, and he saved New York as well. My God, like, Jesus, just because he didn't save the princess, that was the only thing. But he made a new life for himself in his new world, and he's a hero there. And you're like, nah, he's not heroic enough. Insane. Just no thanks. Good day, sir. Alright, what do you got, Joe?
Laugh. I expect to have a lot of fun. I didn't laugh a single time. Maybe I chuckled once.
Jesus, Joe, what the hell is wrong with you? Really, you didn't... How can you be such a grump? There were so many funny moments, so many good things. Jesus Christ, this is crazy. You're insane. Like, how are you in this movie and you're like, not funny. Nope. Make me laugh. Work harder, movie. Make me laugh. Meet my incredibly high standards. This is a fucking kids movie. Didn't laugh? What, are you kidding me?
Parts that I saw were obviously in the trailer. Those were the best parts. Other than that, there was
the trailer is literally the
best
film.
ones.
Yeah. So, am I the crappy one here? Did you guys actually like it?
Oh, I loved it, Joe. Loved it. You know me.
Well, at least one guy has the right idea. Jeez.
Go ahead.
No, I wanted to like this more because like I saw the trailer, it looked funny, but those were the best parts. And then I looked at a review, it's like, this is a 10 out of 10, shallow writing, but it's not meant for you, it's meant for kids. But that's just
5-year-olds and
that's
things
at
like
the
it.
same time, it's like, no, you can
Hate
have
that
them both.
argument.
I hate it too because Sonic was written better.
Yeah.
Sonic wasn't written better. What, are you fucking kidding me? Jesus. Sonic 2 maybe, but Sonic 1 absolutely not. Oh my God. There's like nothing in it. like Sonic's just hiding out on Earth, and then like he has like Earth hijinks. This, like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, that's better written. Oh great, wow. Sure wish we would focus more on random human people. Better writing, yeah. I mean, Sonic was still good. Don't get me wrong.
Was made for like
Lego
kids.
Batman, God, I could not stop laughing.
Yes.
It
so
was
you can't
charming.
have a good
It wasn't that funny. Oh well. It was alright though.
writer.
This has no chemistry, no charm between any of the characters. The best part about it is the only emotional weight it has is that Mario and Luigi are brothers, and they love each other.
And even then they said,
Yeah, I mean, their brotherly bond was really good. I mean, that's definitely true, but there's enough emotional shit going on. Jesus, man.
separate
And
them
they
from the get-go.
Thank you, Joe. I was going
Yeah.
to say it was a huge mistake to separate the two characters because they did have some chemistry together.
No, that was fine. What are you talking about? Yeah, sure. Like, you didn't want them to steal like the entire show all of the time. Can you imagine? Like, we see what happens when they fix that apartment. Well, and then they break it, you know. But like, that would have been the entire movie. Would just be like Luigi being scared and then Mario taking care of him. It was good that Luigi had to go out on his own, you know, and and be more brave by himself. It would have been pretty stupid otherwise. I don't know how you could possibly sit around here and act like that would have been better. You'd have to be so stupid. Jesus, man. Like, yeah, wow. How dare we have, like, any conflict in this movie? Jeez, imagine that. Like, the fact that you feel like that they needed to be together more just tells you that it was written so well, because the chemistry between these two has been amazing. And you want to see what if they connect again, you know? You want to see them get back together. That's good writing, you fucking imbecile.
Everybody else, no, it was like everything was going a mile a minute.
Yes, another thing with me is like, look, Luigi didn't really have much to do. You separated him with Mario. Bowser, the entire time, you get that one cool scene you see in the trailer. Other than that, you only see him when he's like lusting over Peaches.
That was weird.
That's
so now
the only
we've got
time.
I get trying to give Bowser a reason to always be capturing Peach, but we don't need a reason in this film because Peach is not always being captured by Bowser. She's a 100% girl boss. She has no flaws. She has no faults. She never even had to train. She's Rey Skywalker, basically. She's the best ever, and she doesn't need saving from no fucking man, okay? And that's fine. I can actually get over the girl boss part. It's not a... In fact, she...
Is it fine? It's like... Sounds like you're a crybaby about it, but okay, I'll let you continue.
She's the hero of this film. Without her, there's no hero of the film. Mario bumbles his way through the entire film, and then right at the end, all of a sudden, he's good at everything. He wasn't good at anything, now he's good at everything, and then the film is and then it ends. Look, like I said, I wanted to tell you the critics are stupid and wrong, but the Angry Joe Show has ingrained in me a need to tell you like it is and how I saw it. Do I think you might have fun? Yes, maybe you might have fun in it. But me...
Maybe you might have fun. You are so fucking stupid. The whole fucking debate has been about how people have fun and how the critics are wrong. Obviously people are gonna have fun. Jesus fucking... Do you not learn anything? God, so stupid, man. Just sitting there like, yeah, maybe you'll have fun. God, like, even your condemnation of this movie is so wishy-washy and you can hardly commit to anything. Jesus. Oh, the girl boss is crazy poorly written, but I'm fine with that. Fuck off, Angry Joe. You suck so hard. You put me right to sleep, okay? This is the worst content. Oh, hey, Squid Kids, look, there's an update. Little Joel made a video, and that just right after I made a video talking about Little Joel. Oh my
Hey everybody,
God.
so the new Super Mario Brothers movie just came out. I haven't seen it yet. I'm excited to see it. But today I want to talk about a little culture war issue that's going on with it. A little bit of a culture war problem. So the Mario movie came out and it got two sets of reviews. One, the audiences, the other, the critics. The critics gave it a 53%. The audiences gave it a whopping 98%. And people are mad about this. They're acting like Mario on his way to take out Bowser. I know the canon. This guy named Board says, content review systems are broken. Because critics have a problem with Chris Pratt, the experts have deemed the new Mario movie a D-, even though audiences clearly love it. Both of these groups are obviously biased, but the disparity here reveals a major problem. And Elon Musk actually replied to this tweet. He replied saying, wow, the critics are so disconnected from reality. I can't imagine living like this. This feels like a bad way to live life. Like, what these people want is not to, like, ignore critics and to live a life watching and enjoying whatever movies they want to. That would be normal. What they want is for, like, critics to get in line, to reflect, like, the populist interpretation of movies.
Wow, big little Joel, this is mind-blowing that you would talk like this. This is really crazy. Like, obviously this is a big fucking deal. Like, obviously, if the movie critics just, like, generally fail at their job, that's a big deal. And the fact that they're saying that the Super Mario movie is terrible is about as stupid as if they would say that Earth is flat. That would be the same thing. If they just come out as flat earthers all of the time, you expect us to not have a reaction to it? No! We would ask them to get the fuck in line, or, as we globeheads like to say, get on the ball. the Earth is a fucking ball, and the Super Mario movie is a fucking good. Spaghetti mamma mia.
And it's like, why do you even want that so bad? Why are you so invested in that? If you don't trust the critics, if you'd rather look at audience reviews saying things such as, loved it, wife missed Yoshi, and perfect. I play a lot of games from the Super Mario Bros. Game series, and it contains a lot of features from the games. If you want to trust those reviewers, fucking go for it. Who's stopping you?
Who's stopping us? What are you, stupid? You just selected like 2 fairly mundane, meaningless reviews, and you're like, yeah, why don't you enjoy these reviews? these reviews that don't say anything. God, imagine if we had a class of people that say things about fucking movies, and if we could expect them to say useful things about the movie. And then you just, like, picking at audience members, and it's like, oh, they don't have much to say. They're not film critics, the fools! And you know what? That other guy's right, you know? It does contain a lot of features, you know? We don't get that enough. Like, video game movies, they act like they're not even part of the game, you know? They're just like, oh, vaguely based on it. But in this game, we got actual power-ups from the game. That's pretty cool, you know?
Nothing's stopping you from enjoying and trusting the guy who's there to remind us that the new movie has many features from the Super Mario Bros. Game series.
Yep, based review. Better than most critics. That's the problem, you know? If fucking random people have a better opinion than those critics who are supposed to be good at reviewing shit, whatever.
All this is just a preening, desperate bid for legitimacy, a desire to see culture itself, people who actually care about things, reflect the shitty opinions that you have. And it's like, just have your shitty opinions. If you felt so secure in them, if you really thought the critics were so wrong, why would you give a shit what they had to say? You could just live authentically, you know what I mean? You could just live a life intentionally and enjoy movies.
No, I don't fucking know what you mean. What are you... Okay, I probably need to stop saying that, but this is fundamentally stupid. Why don't you go out there and live your fucking authentic life out there and shut the fuck up? Why do you have to be here talking about the response to critics? Like, Jesus, don't you have something to do with your life? You know how stupid it is to tell someone to shut up and live their authentic lives? Like, fundamentally dumb, okay? I praised you the other video, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna upload that video right before this video, so now you got a sandwich of me praising you and then me slamming you, okay? So that's pretty cool, right?
You don't have to live in the shadow of critics you don't like saying that Illumination Studios movies aren't that good. It's okay. It's alright. Just enjoy Mario.
You know what, that actually pisses me off a lot too, because Illumination was actually always fairly good. Like, the audiences always like them, and the critics are always so fucking stupid about it. But this Mario movie isn't even much about Illumination, so it's just like... I mean, this criticism doesn't make any sense, and it's because he didn't see the movie, otherwise he wouldn't have said this. How about you fucking live your authentic life and talk about movies after you've fucking seen them? Obviously, I hate the culture war, though. I can't believe that there's people on both sides that are like, oh yeah, this pisses me off for political reasons, and I don't care if the movie is actually good. I'm just peeved, you know? I got other issues with it that don't have to do with quality, but I'm here. I'm complaining. I got movie reviews to make from the left or from the right. They're both too fucking stupid to see how brilliant Super Mario Bros. Is.
If you want to. The only reason why someone would say that the new Mario movie isn't that great is because it has Chris Pratt, and Chris Pratt is a Christian. Other than that, there is no possible reason why somebody could not think the new Mario movie is that good. They're lying to you. The critics are lying. They loved the new Mario movie. They loved the new Mario movie.
Wait, Chris Pratt is a Christian? Ignore what I said. That movie's awful. How dare you be a Christian, Chris Pratt? Bye.
Personally, I didn't laugh enough.
Shut up.